Are voters blindly supporting Kamala Harris without knowing her policies? Today, let's tackle this unsettling reality of political support driven by ignorance. Recent interviews with Harris supporters have revealed a troubling trend. Many voters who claim to support Kamala Harris cannot name a single policy she stands for. This raises serious questions about the informedness of the electorate and the integrity of our democratic process. When confronted and asked which policies they agree with, many of Harris's supporters struggled to provide an answer. In several interviews, supporters were asked, "Which policies specifically do you agree with?" The responses were telling.
The most important policy issue that she holds that is important to you?
These vague and uncertain answers suggest that these individuals are voting for Harris without understanding what she stands for. Political analysts suggest that many voters align with candidates based on party affiliation, media influence, or social pressures rather than an understanding of specific policies. This phenomenon isn't new, but it's particularly glaring in the case of Kamala Harris. The emotional appeal and charismatic presence often overshadow detailed policy discussions. One particularly striking interview involved a supporter asking the reporter to name a policy for them. This highlights a deeper issue. Many voters are making decisions based on superficial factors rather than informed analysis. Kamala Harris has been vocal about various issues, including criminal justice reform, health care, and climate change. However, it seems many of her supporters are not aware of these specific stances. Let's take a closer look at Kamala Harris's policies. As a senator and vice president, Harris has advocated for a range of issues, including criminal justice reform, health care, and climate change. Despite these clear policy positions, the disconnect between Harris's agenda and her supporters' knowledge is stark.
I did the work of significantly reforming the criminal justice system of a state of 40 million people, which became a national model for the work that needs.
That is why I'm supporting Medicare for all. With Medicare.
And so we set an ambitious goal to cut our greenhouse gas emissions in half by 2030.
What do you think about Kamala Harris's stance on healthcare?
I don't know.
This lack of knowledge is concerning. It suggests that voters might be supporting Harris without understanding how her policies will impact their lives. Media and social platforms play a significant role in shaping voter perceptions. Many people get their information from social media, where political discourse is often reduced to sound bites and slogans. This environment can contribute to superficial understanding and blind support. The media often focuses on the personalities of candidates rather than their policies. This focus can lead to voters supporting candidates based on likability rather than policy substance. Social media amplifies this effect as people are more likely to share and engage with content that evokes strong emotions, regardless of its accuracy or depth. Uninformed voting can lead to electing officials who may not represent the voters' best interests or the needs of the country. It also undermines the democratic process, which relies on informed citizens making decisions based on knowledge and understanding. Experts argue that this trend of blind voting could have serious consequences. When voters are not informed about a candidate's policies, they might support agendas that don't align with their own values or needs. This disconnect can lead to widespread dissatisfaction and a lack of trust in the political system. Addressing this issue requires a concerted effort to improve political education and encourage critical thinking. Schools, media organizations, and civic groups can all play a role in fostering a more informed electorate. Educational initiatives that focus on teaching the importance of understanding policies and the impacts of different political decisions can help. Community discussions and forums where voters can engage with candidates and ask detailed questions about their policies are also beneficial. To summarize, the phenomenon of voters supporting Kamala Harris without knowing her policies highlights a significant issue in our political system. Uninformed voting undermines the democratic process and can lead to outcomes that do not reflect the true will of the people. So what do you think, folks? Should voters be more informed about the policies of the candidates they support? Is this trend of blind voting a threat to our democracy? Comment below and let us know if you think voters should do their homework before casting their ballots.